Jimmy Carter with his hostages, he lost because of it. Jimmy Carter with his hostages is a peanut compared to what's happening here. They have 40,000 people, not to mention all the other Afghans who were supposed to help. And, you know, our country can't take in hundreds of thousands of people. You know, when you go into Afghanistan, you hire people, you pay them. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't mean you take everybody that wants to come to America. You know, it doesn't work that way.
Well, that was the president speaking his mind with Maria earlier this morning on the ongoing chaos in Afghanistan. General Jack Keane is with us now. General, is this Biden's Tehran?
Well, it's similar, but there's lots of differences, too. I mean, we didn't have military forces in Iran. The Shah was deposed, you know, by the radical Islamists. Hostages were taken. Hopefully that is not the case here.
But they look like hostages right now, don't they? I mean, they want to get to the airport. They can't get to the airport. The Taliban are holding them up. Essentially, they are hostages. We depend on the goodwill of the Taliban to let them through.
Yeah. Well, I would have a different approach than what this current administration has in dealing with the Taliban. We gave them a date certain of 31 August, which was, you know, one of the many mistakes the administration made in this ill-conceived, hasty withdrawal. But I would tell them, because the Taliban, what they want is us out of there. And we are leaving. That decision has been made. But what I would say to their leadership is we are not going to leave until all of the Americans are out and all the Afghans are out who we want to get out. Now, there's two ways we're going to do this. Either you're going to help us do that so we can leave as soon as possible. And if you don't help us, then we're going to have to force this to happen. And that's going to delay us maybe by weeks or months.
That would mean our troops who are now at the airport break out that ring that the Taliban has around the airport and forcibly create a highway so that those people who want to get out can get out. That means Americans firing guns in anger.
We don't know that, but we have to be prepared to do that. Listen, there's risk associated with everything. There's lots of lives at stake here. We have American lives at stake here. And we're going to say we're not willing to use our guns to protect them? I say we are. And what we would do is create corridors for them to get to that airport. Hopefully the Taliban would do that, and if they weren't willing to do that, we should be prepared to do it. I'm convinced the Taliban really want this nightmare scenario that's being played out on a world stage off the television screens, and they want us out of there as soon as possible. It's in their interest also. They want to get on with doing what they want to do, which is take control of this country.
Just hold on for 1 second, General. Stay there, if you would, please. We've got these satellite images that show thousands at the Kabul airport, desperate to flee. I've got some images that look down, loads and loads of people on the ground. Susan, what's the latest on the evacuation?
Well, they have restarted. So 700 people have been moved out of Afghanistan, according to the White House, 150 of them being American citizens. The Pentagon does say that they have the capacity to move around 5,000 to 9,000 out of Kabul each and every day out of military aircraft. But you have already more than 15,000 plus family members who aided the U.S. They've already been resettled in America with these special immigrant visas, right? But you also heard last night, I just want to point this out because this just crossed, was that the Taliban spokesperson this morning said that they are providing amnesty for government officials. They promise rights for women and no executions right now for dissenters. Do you believe them?
Yeah, good question, Susan. General, do you believe them?
No, I don't believe any of that. That's just their rebranding. They're on a world stage. They know they've got international journalists and broadcast journalists watching them. And they qualified all of that by saying it's in accordance with Islamic law. And that is the qualifier. In other words, women, the way they're going to handle women, because it's already happening in the other provincial cities and in the rural districts, is one, you can't leave your home without chaperoned by a male. Two, you're not going to be able to work. If you got a job, that's over, and you're not going to school. I mean, those things are already in place. So this is poppycock that they're putting out here, and it's just a rebranding thing to convince people that they're really civilized and they're going to go about this in a sobering manner. That's not the way the Taliban does business.
Susan, back to you. What's the administration saying about the Americans still trapped?
Well, you talked about that ring, that perimeter across or close to Kabul airport. The U.S. government saying that they can't guarantee the safety of those trying to get out, trying to get to that that airport to get on those flights. You have to remember that the Taliban, as I mentioned, has that perimeter, and there's no word yet as to whether or not the U.S. military is going to secure a way through.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. We don't know what the American military is going to do and what they want to do to get those people to the airport. That's the conundrum.
Yeah, well, I mean, ill-conceived, hasty plan. Everybody's scrapping right now to put something together that makes some sense. I didn't hear the determination from Jake Sullivan or even from the president that I am absolutely determined to get all the American citizens out and the Afghans who need to get out because they work with us to protect their lives. And I'm not going to leave Afghanistan until that's finished. That is the statement that should have been made.
And we'd like to hear it. General Jack Keane, thank you very much for being with us, sir. Always a pleasure. Great to have you next to us as well.
Yeah, I agree.